Litire modonjuari kane aturoro kuru mumburu mama itupo inavya katukare polongandari kane.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forcighetto. In the news tonight, President Geingob commits to strengthen fight against corruption. Correctional facility nurtures infants born in prison before the age of 2. The sky is the limit for Miss Namibia 2021. Food and nutrition policy for small-scale farmers. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. President Hage Geingob recently attended the Summit for Democracy, which was organized by the government of the United States of America. The head of state, speaking at the virtual summit, emphasized that Namibia had put in place robust anti-corruption measures and established independent institutions.
Following the Anti-Corruption Commission's recent commemoration of International Anti-Corruption Day, President Hage Geingob recently addressed the Summit for Democracy, where he stated that in addition to Namibia's zero tolerance and political will to fight corruption, the government has put in place a wide range of legislations such as the Prevention of Organized Crime Act as well as the Whistleblowers Protection Act.
In terms of the fight against corruption, Namibia has put in place effective measures and established independent institutions to fight corruption. Recently, and in addition to wide-ranging Prevention of Organized Crime Act 29 of 2004, a Whistleblowers Protection Act was promulgated to enhance our effectiveness in fighting corruption. All these efforts are driven by a clear national political will of zero tolerance towards corruption. Taking all of this into consideration, I wish to emphasize the fact that true democratic freedom is impossible to sustain in absence of economic equity. We therefore view economic inequality as a greater threat to national and global democracy.
The fight for press freedom is essential in a world in which harassment and violence against journalists and attacks on media independence threaten the right to news and information. The 2021 Reporters Without Borders World Press Freedom Index has evaluated Namibia as Africa's best-ranked country in press freedom. President Hage Geingob stated explicitly the government's unwavering commitment to media freedom.
Testament to Namibia's commitment and practice in maintaining an excellent record of media freedom for the past 31 years, the World Press Freedom Index published by Reporters Without Borders ranks Namibia as number 1 in Africa, and this year, 24th globally, with the freest media environment. I think we are beating some of the big countries too.
The president further said that the government has prioritized poverty eradication, gender equality, and broad-based economic development as enablers of shared prosperity, and that the most effective way to ensure that democracy meets the needs of all Namibians is to create a more just and equitable society.
it's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like Cool Peach slices or halves for only $26.99 and Brooks Oro Squash for just $29.99. Merry Christmas from all of us at SPAR.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
Babies born to female inmates are kept in prison before the age of 2. This, according to the Windhoek Correctional Facility, is to establish a bond between mother and child, after which an assessment is carried out by the facility and the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare to identify relatives in whose care the toddlers will be placed.
The Deputy Commissioner responsible for mental health and special needs at the Windhoek Correctional Facility notes that, although the environment might not be conducive for a child, the facility strongly tries to encourage mother and child bonding.
Obviously, it's not like the best place to be in terms of environment, but again, so that we cannot rob off the bond they can create with their parents, we unfortunately have to let that be. We're just trying to obviously provide the best possible environment for them. But obviously there are challenges because these kids don't really learn like proper or effective social skills because they don't have other kids to play with. They see adults, so they tend to also grow up a little bit too mature because they interact a lot with adults. Although those were identified to be some negative impact, we know that we are trying to do this the best possible way. Also don't want to say as soon as the child is given birth, then the child must go without creating that rapport or relationship with their mother. I think that's very essential, that bond, because it really facilitates a lot of really healthy living. So what we do with the pregnant female offenders is obviously, when they come in, when we admit them, we do a medical checkup. We do assessment in terms of their physical health as well as in terms of their mental health. If any concern is identified, they are treated by our medical officer as well as program officers at the facility. Where cases where we are unable to provide any mental or physical health because of lack of capacity, perhaps, we do use hospitals outside from, yes. So we do send our female offenders to outside hospitals, but their antenatal care, the basic ones, are done inside by our medical officer. But during that process, during that monitoring and assessment, if they find out there's something that they are unable to do, perhaps because of lack of really specialized assessment tools or equipment, then we do refer, as I said, to outside hospitals for further care and assessment. Our female offenders don't give birth in our correctional facility. They obviously, because of the regular checkup that our medical officers does or do, they are then sent to go and give birth outside the correctional facility. So the idea is that if there's no risk at all, within those 2 years, and the relationship is going stronger and there are no other risk identified, then we encourage that bond to continue until before the child reaches the age of 2. Before that, we do some assessment. We actually liaise with the social workers of the Ministry of Gender Equality to do an assessment to identify the right relative or friend or even social welfare, children's home and stuff that is the best for the child. And then they are then placed there before they reach the age of 2 years old.
The facility currently holds 90 female offenders between the ages of 41 and 50, 3 of whom are expecting. The facility at the moment is also nurturing 3 toddlers and has started assessments for their release, further calling on more aid and support in addition to that of government from family and community members.
Government, thankfully, is able to provide them the baby cot. We've got baby cots for the kids to sleep in. The government also provide them food for those that are taking formula milk or baby food, clothing and stuff like that. Also family members that have the willing to provide such to the babies, any equipment or material or food to the babies or their mothers, they are also allowed to do so. Even organizations from outside, they are also allowed to kind of supplement what the government is already providing. A confinement like a correctional facility is obviously not the best place to ever raise your child, but in cases, as I've told you, where an offender was sentenced and they unfortunately have to come to us, in addition to try and provide rehabilitation for them, we also try to cater to the needs of the babies and the children. And then although the government is providing a lot in terms of food, in terms of beddings and stuff like that, it can never be 100% enough, So it's really important for the family members of these offenders, for community members, for organizations to also come and help in the efforts of the government.
Returning from Eilat, Israel, where she represented Namibia at the Miss Universe pageant, Namibia's Golden Girl, Chelsea Chicago, sat down with Today on One and shared her exciting journey with us.
The 24-year-old Chelsea Chikongo said taking part was a dream come true and is grateful for the opportunity to represent the land of the brave at the pageant.
It was good. It was a good experience. I got to meet so many wonderful women from all over the world, and I have friends for a lifetime, and the competition was really good. I had so much fun on stage, and I was looking forward to doing it again, and I did, and I'm just so grateful that I had the opportunity to achieve a goal that was manifested for me by my father 24 years ago.
Chikongo described the experience at the competition as life-changing, which will propel her career to greater heights.
Definitely working on my comedy, my content creating, advancing my international modeling career, and working on projects that I left behind before Miss Universe. So that will be pretty much the program or plans for my next year.
Chikongo expressed appreciation to the nation for the overwhelming support and called members of the public to protect themselves by getting vaccinated.
I just have to say that I'm really thankful for their love and unconditional support. I appreciate everything that they have done for me since my reign as Miss Namibia, and just how so many people came together to support me. I really felt their love and support on that stage, and like my whole journey of Miss Universe, I really felt every Namibian's love and support.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 28th of December. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, $89.99. Buy Nivea deodorant spray, 150 mils, 2 for $52. Buy Pampers Baby Dry disposable nappies, now $241.99 per pack. And buy Radox body wash, 400 mils, or foam bath, 500 mils, 2 for $66. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
A girlfriend.
Whoa! Wow! Spin and win
again this summer. Use the MyMTC app or dial *111# and you could win a brand new Toyota Starlet, Corolla Quest or Hilux. MTC, make the connection.
The government of Namibia, through the Office of the Prime Minister and in collaboration with developmental partners, released the Food and Nutrition Policy this month. Among the goals of the program is agriculture and how the sector can play a pivotal role in improving the food systems in the country.
Organizations involved in revising the food and nutrition policy, including various agencies from the United Nations in Namibia. Ben Schernik, the Director for Nutrition and Food Security Alliance of Namibia, NAFSAN, described their role and functions of the policy once implemented.
So NAFSAN was part of the process to develop that policy together with the action plan on how to implement it and a whole new coordination structure. From the government, together with UN partners and other international supporters, as well as NAFSAN as the umbrella organization for civil society, academia, and the private sector. Because all of these entities need to work in a coordinated way to make sure that we have enough food produced and that this food is affordable, and that also our eating habits and how we take care, especially of pregnant mothers, children, is ensuring that we really have enough nutritious and healthy food and lifestyle.
Increase local production of safe and nutritious food, particularly by small-scale farmers, enhance market access are the two main objectives of the approach. Schernik emphasized on how the strategy will help small-scale farmers.
The Ministry of Agriculture is already doing a lot to support farmers. So what they are doing is to really step up and enhance what they are doing. And they are looking at systems that are not working, like the green schemes, I think were initially well intended, but they are not working as well as they should. So they are changing those systems. They are looking at how can we support the farmers better than through the extension workers, the agricultural extension workers, how those systems can improve. Other ideas of microfinancing, or not microfinancing, but like financing systems, other support systems for farmers, and also the whole food chain, the whole food system. How can that become more effective?
The policy's ultimate goal is to provide Namibians with affordable, healthy, and nutritious locally produced food.
It's 3 for 2 times. Aibo. It's click season. Let me go and get the gun. 3 for the price of 2. Bye.
Get ready to celebrate the joy of giving, because nothing says festive season quite like Clicks.
3 for the price of 2. 3 for the
Giving you more so you can give more.
It's click season.
Clicks. Feel good, pay less.
We can't wait to be together again. But until then, let's stay safe.
Hi, welcome to the program. I'm Debula. So let's get on the road with this. Having someone who likes what you like can be great. It gives you something to chat about and share with each other, yeah? But what if you both want to be at the very top of what you're doing and your main rival is your brother? Can you imagine?
Mount Nyiragongo, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's found in the Virunga Mountains and located 6 miles from Goma. So what caused Mount Nyiragongo to erupt?
This is Women in African Music virtual exhibition. It was created by the British-Nigerian documentary photographer Michael Tubes.
Women in African Music exhibition is about celebrating women behind the scene and women performing on the stage.
In other leading stories, the World Food Programme and Environment Investment Fund recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding as a collaboration for the management of programs under the Sustainable Development Goals 2, Zero Hunger, 13, Climate Action, and 17, Partnerships. As a group of committed partners, WFP and EIF envision to provide capacity strengthening to the government of Namibia in the journey towards zero hunger by 2030. Specifically, WFP is mandated to ensure vulnerable populations in Namibia strengthen evidence for food systems in Namibia. WFP Country Director George Feder says in effort to accelerate the journey towards zero hunger and the food and nutrition security agenda, WFP has identified key entry points through 3 strategic pillars of rural transformation, sustainable food systems, and human capacity development as key focus areas and support to government. Adding that in addition to these pillars, cross-cutting areas of digital transformation, women and youth empowerment, and job creation have also been prioritized. To achieve the SDGs by 2030, it is paramount that industries as well as individuals harness their knowledge of materials and financial resources to ensure the safety and prosperity of people and natural environments in our country. For this reason, EIF is ready to partner with entities such as WFP as a demonstration of their commitment in championing SDGs.
We can't wait to get the whole gang together. But until then, let's stay safe.
Namibia will conduct the 4th Population and Housing Census in August 2022. To find out more, tune into the television broadcast of the 5th Conversations with the NSA show on Tuesday the 21st of December at 8 p.m. and the repeat broadcast on Sunday the 26th of December at 7 p.m. The Population and Housing Census 2021. Play your part. Be counted.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for you, Ziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. Love.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for this evening's edition of Business on One.
Business on One is proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. Releasing the quarterly performance figures for the domestic economy, the Namibia Statistics Agency, NSA, said the third quarter GDP for 2021 recorded a growth of above 2% and expanded by $1 billion when compared to the corresponding period last year.
Namibia experienced less restrictions imposed by the government this year in response to the pandemic compared to 2020. With the economy operating in a relatively normal state, figures released by the Namibia Statistics Agency shows that activity in most sectors picked up during the third quarter of 2021.
The economy remains in a positive trajectory in the third quarter of 2021, and it recorded a growth of 2.4%. And the growth of the previous quarter was 3%, and now it's 2.4%. It's still positive growth for the two quarters. If you compare to the last year, 2020. Last year it was a decline of 12.3% this time in the third quarter of 2020. In nominal terms, the size of the economy was estimated at $45 billion for this quarter, relative to $43.9 billion posted in the same quarter of 2020. This shows that the size of the economy increased by 1.1 billion over a year. The expansion of economic activities in the third quarter of 2021 was observed in almost all the sectors of the economy, and this is how they perform. For the mining and quarrying, we had double digits of 41.9%. Hotels and restaurants, also double digits, 19.5%. Furthermore, the following sectors also posted strong growth during the period under review, and they are the health sector, a growth of 7.3%, agriculture and forestry 5.9%, transport and storage 5.6%, and the real estate and professional services 4.2%.
The third quarter looks into the performance of the domestic economy in the 3 months leading up to October of this year. However, sectors such as construction and manufacturing continue on a decline trajectory. According to Shimoafeni, tourist arrivals increased by over 40%.
The index passengers arrivals recorded an increase of 40.3% on monthly basis. It's quite encouraging also on those passenger arrivals. Namibia recorded 21,216 passengers who arrived through our international airports in October 2021, compared to 15,199 passengers in September 2021. Let's hope that trend will keep on increasing. And 3,941 passengers in October 2020, if you compare to last year. So it's quite a big jump from 3,941 to the 21,216 passengers that we received this year in October. The improvement in the latter indices was due to the relaxation of travel restrictions that are in place to combat COVID-19 pandemic.
For the quarter under review, the NSA also released the GDP estimate by expenditure, which increased by 2.4%, mainly driven by the private final consumption.
Business on One was proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
Man, you've got to be anything. You should be everything. Strength provider, the architect of every ring. Experience penny years, see the face of God and live.
I pray to God for my enemy. Why you ready? Why you baby? Why baby? Insta baby, Insta baby, Insta baby. Why you lying? Everybody shake what your mama gave ya. Everybody move what your mama gave ya. Everybody shake what your mama gave ya. Everybody move, yeah, lost, fuck.
watching the V10 Countdown.
Dear teachers, we know all the hard work you put in every day to make sure our kids get the best education possible. It's also our goal here at One Africa TV's #LearnOn1. That's why we bring free quality supplementary lessons that are 100% Namibian, complements of NMH's MyZone. Lessons include early childhood development programs and primary school lessons. These air on One Africa TV every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
We know it's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like all gold tomato sauce for only $25.99 and Coup baked beans and tomato sauce for just $11.49. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spar.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia sounds with our Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Loves to jive. Tafolaga, Namibian like you.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The U.S. Embassy in Namibia held a topping-off ceremony at the construction site of its new offices to celebrate the construction reaching its highest point. The project, led by construction firm B.L. Hobbit, with over 750 workers employed at the site, the majority of whom are Namibians. Completion is anticipated in 2023, with an estimated $17 million to be invested in the local economy. Tuksa says the office is bigger than State House. Gordon says this is what happens when genuine contractors are appointed and paid on time. Long John says they should have rented. While Daniel says Namibians should master peaceful, innovative entrepreneurship. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
Connect in style with O Smartphone, Namibia's most affordable 4G handset. Enjoy high-speed connectivity to music, videos, and social media. Experience life on the 4G fast lane when you swap your 2G or 3G SIM for a free 4G SIM. Get it all for only $4.99 Namibian dollars, and you can make the connection with MTC.
I only spin with warm tires. I don't drive with them. The road to zero starts with me.
I don't drink and drive. I'm going to take a taxi.
1-2.
Safe to zero.
Put on your seatbelt, say.
Yeah.
The road to zero starts with me.
Jaywalk and it might be your last walk. The road to zero begins with me.
Better late than never. The road to zero starts with me.
It was the silence that connected us all. But the journey started long before that day.
Coach has a gift to be able to spot talent a mile away.
I think the family kind of feeling makes the athletes feel like they want to perform for him.
This is a match made in heaven. We just become one. There was difficult times. I said to the girls, we didn't do all this just for one bump to take us off track. We started talking about this journey, and the way we actually painted that journey is almost perfectly the way it ended.
We thought that maybe one of them will make the finals. Those of them made the finals, then the rest is history.
Quiet broken by the firing of the gun, and they're off.
And here comes Christine Bommer in second place. Will they do it today? Oh, of course! 21-81.
This one belongs to us all as one.
Ulumbu is standing by for this evening's edition of Sports on One.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host, Castro Ulumbu. The aim of the Athletics Development Club is to develop and give the Namibian child an opportunity to compete against the best. In collaboration with the Pukewitz Foundation, Athletics Development Club founders Henny Horn and Jackie Sneyders will be hosting an athletics coaching clinic and championships in the coastal town of Swakopmund this December. Today on One Sports has more on this story. This year, Namibia had one of its most successful seasons on the athletics stage, with rising stars like Christine Mboma and Beatrice Masilingi emerging through the youth ranks to compete against the world's best on the biggest sports athletics stage. In order to develop and scout more similar talents, the Athletics Development Club will host a coaching clinic to train coaches, which will create an opportunity for them to nurture talents from their respective regions.
Prior to the competition, we will be hosting a coaching course with the support of the Pukewitz Foundation, as well as in conjunction with Athletics Namibia. The coaching course will start on the 20th of December and it will conclude on the 21st of December, the afternoon. We will focus on your theory, and then after that do the practical the afternoon. And once you are successful and you have concluded it in a successful rate, you will then receive a certificate from Athletics Namibia. Everybody can benefit from this program, basically, as from your athlete to your teacher, your parent, your coach. Depends on who wants to do the coaching course. So the more coaches we can get qualified in Namibia, the better it will be for each and every region, as well as the benefit for the athletes and also to identify talent then in the various regions. The focus of this program is on the middle and long distance. We feel that there's a lot of talent in these two disciplines, and the qualified coaches in the various regions are few. Therefore, we would like to generate more qualified coaches in this aspect on these two disciplines, to basically identify the various talents in the various regions, and therefore they don't have to travel that far to try and see where, how and who. So that's basically our aim. We also have a very high demand for middle and long distance when they submitted their names. Therefore, in 2022, our focus will change to the other disciplines, which will be your hurdles, your jumps, your throws, and your short distances. But also, before we can even do that, in the beginning of 2022, we will then carry on with the coaching course also for middle and long distance for the waiting list that is still for this course, basically. So I think we had over the 73 entries. So therefore, the other 33, we will then do a coaching course for the middle and long distance early 2022 before we start on the other disciplines. The importance of this program is why to host it is that we don't have a lot of qualified coaches or in the various disciplines, especially in some of the regions. We have a lot of talent in the various regions, and then the coaches they would love to help the kids, but they don't know how. So, and then the kids and then all the athletes have to then go to the other regions to try and find training. So if each and every region can get qualified coaches in each discipline, imagine the talent that we can create in Namibia. So basically by creating your coaches and qualifying them, you're creating more talent identification. And therefore Namibia's athletics can start growing to a better and higher rate.
Apart from hosting an athletics coaching clinic, Athletics Development Club, in collaboration with the Pupkewitz Foundation and Athletics Namibia, will be hosting a 2-day athletics championship. This event will bring about 1,000 athletes together from the ages of 6 to 19 years.
The Pupkewitz Open Foundation Athletics Championship is basically a competition that we started hosting prior, but we changed it now. We changed the name now to the Pupkewitz Open Championship. And it's basically from the age of 6 years to senior as well as your para-athletes to be able to compete against each other. You know, so before the big season starts next year, you can actually close this off and see, you know, where your fitness is and where you still need to up your game or where you need to improve your standard and all that, so that when we start the actual athletics competitions or your season next year, you know exactly how far you have to go and train yourself. We have entries over the whole Namibia, all regions, and we are very excited about it. The regions are also extremely excited in participating in this event. We have all the sport pillars, from your baby hurdles up until your standing long jump for the small little ones, and then we have all your various hurdles, your short distances, long distances, and then all your throws, which is basically also your jump, your high jump, your long jump, your javelin, your discus, your shot put. So we'll be having basically all events at the competition. We are expecting between 800 and 1,000 athletes, so we're hoping to receive 800 to 1,000 athletes. We do have a lot of entries already, and hopefully this will be one very big successful event.
The athletics coaching clinic will happen on the 20th and the 21st of December, whilst the championships will follow from the 22nd until the 23rd of December. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next week for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot, Castro. Time now to take a look at the weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast, but first an advisory from the Windhoek Met office. Heavy rainfalls are most likely in the Zambezi, Kavango, eastern parts of Otjozondjupa and Omaheke regions tomorrow and over the weekend. The interior will be partly cloudy and hot in the west and in the Karas region. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a few thunder showers, but isolated to scattered thunder showers in the Zambezi, Kavango, eastern parts of the Otjozondjupa and Omaheke regions. The coast will be partly cloudy and cool to mild with fog patches in the north and central coast. Wind will be moderate northwesterly to southwesterly.
That is all we have for you. You can join us again for a repeat at 9:30 and the Omnibus Saturdays from 9 to 2. From me, Maggie Forciedo, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Welcome to the Government Institutions Pension Fund, or GIPF, Unistrat Property Investment Development Site. Located in the Namibian town of Otjiwarongo, the Unistrat Property Investment Project is one of several investments made by GIPF through its special purpose vehicles in the unlisted investment sector. GIPF is a self-administered and defined benefit fund registered in terms of the Pension Fund Act 24 of 1956 to provide a retirement, death and ancillary benefits to Namibian government employees and participating institutions. GIPF's mission is to guard and to grow the fund for the benefit of its members, and one way through which this growth is achieved by GIPF is through careful selection of and investment in projects like this low-cost housing project, spearheaded by Unistrat Property Investment.
My name is Fidel Ipumbu. I'm the Managing Director of Unistrat Property Investments. We are a small-sized property development company that was fortunate enough to be awarded a tender through public-private partnership with the municipality of Otjiwarongo. We began servicing land in 2017 and completed in 2018. In August 2019, we started with the housing construction.
Unistrat stands for Unity and Strategy, pillars of the company that are aimed at moving the local business forward. A total of 3 extensions, including Extension 12, are being developed by Unistrat Property Investments and consist of a high-income, middle-income and low-income extension.
My name is Otilia Alfius. I'm the Sales and Data Capture Officer at Unistrat Property Investment since 2016. We got funds for servicing Extension 12 from Ino Harris through GIPF. And most of our clients are getting their loan from First Capital through GIPF.
GIPF invested more than $17 million Namibian into Unistrat Property Investments through the Namibia Infrastructure Fund, which is managed by Ino Harris Capital, into Extension 12 of the 3 extensions that are being developed. Through cross-subsidization, Unistrat Property Investment aims to make it affordable for landowners who fall in the middle to low income brackets to be able to purchase land and own a home to call their own.
The majority of the home buyers here are government employees, and we've used funds from GIPF through Ino Capital, the fund manager, and Development Bank of Namibia. So therefore, government is a large component of financing of this project in terms of land delivery. And in support of our government to deliver land at affordable rates, we are now standing at one of the locations that is evident of that fact, that we can basically hold hands together with government and deliver land to the people as requested and as part of the manifesto as well. What we mean by cross-subsidization is where we have a low-income and a middle-income extension or land that is supported by a higher-income extension. Therefore, it makes it affordable for the end user to actually acquire land and own a piece of land. And through this partnership with the municipality, we're able to enable a lot of home buyers to own land. As we all know, the cost of servicing is the same everywhere you go. So whether you do it here or in a different town, it's the same materials that go into the land. However, if you've got clients who cannot afford, you will need to structure a certain deal for them through cross-subsidization, which is exactly what we did here in Otjiwarongo.
A total of 64 houses are being built on the serviced land in Extension 12 with funding from GIPF. Several of these houses have already been completed and handed over to the proud new homeowners.
My name is Likezo Mwazi. I purchased my house through Unistrat Developers last year, 2019. I heard about their project through a colleague of mine at work. Then I approached their office because it was very approachable. Where the location where it's situated was very accessible. I then immediately did my application with them. All they needed was a home loan pre-approval from any bank, which I had, and an identity document. I applied with them and immediately got an approval. Construction of the house began mid-year 2019, and by the end of the year 2019, my house was completed successfully. Currently, I and my family are enjoying the house. The whole process of the construction of the house went well, and we didn't encounter any major issues.
The number of staff employed by Unistrat Property Investment grew quickly as building of homes began following the servicing of land. While COVID-19 poses a challenge, the company is hopeful for the future.
At the beginning of the project, we had 15 employees in the office, and that was to administer the sales of the land. The moment that we started building houses, we employed a further 100 builders from within Otjiwarongo. We believed wholeheartedly that empowering the town will be part of our strategy moving forward, as it also helps to alleviate poverty and generate income for the locals.
Unistrat Property Investment continues passionately with its work. It continues with the servicing of land and building of houses in Extension 12, with particular focus on low-cost housing, made possible through GIPF's investment of more than 17 million Namibian dollars through the Namibia Infrastructure Fund, which is managed by Inno Harath Capital. It's an investment that will see more Namibians being able to afford land and a home.
The name Cape Cross comes from the stone cross erected by the Portuguese explorer Diogo Chao in January 1486. These pillars were erected as signs of Portuguese dominion. It subsequently became known as Cabo do Pardal and was already labeled as such on maps by 1500. The English variation Cape Cross became widespread on maps after 1800. In the second half of the 19th century, numerous German and British vessels explored the southwestern coastline of Africa. They knew of the Portuguese voyages, and several reported seeing the Pardal at Cape Cross, but weren't able to land in the often difficult conditions there. Only in 1894, some adventurous prospectors who were scouting for resources along the coast north of Swakopmund reached Cape Cross. They immediately saw potential of the seal colony, as well as the guano deposits found nearby. News of the riches spread and a settlement quickly grew to exploit them. This included a police station and customs office, one of the first regional post offices, and the first short stretch of railway line in the colony, built to transport guano from the hills to the beach. Once the resources were exploited, the bustle was gone. Little remains today beyond the faint parallel lines of rusted railway tracks, a few ruins, and a cemetery. The estimated number of Cape fur seals had plummeted below 100,000 animals prior to 1900. There are now around 40 breeding colonies in southern Africa. The current population is estimated at around 2 million animals, which is seen by many as a full recovery of the species. There are now over 20 breeding colonies in Namibia, and 60% of the total population occurs in the country.
beautiful souls. This is Nikita Winkler, and I'm here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take the time in each position that your body needs to release its tension. In this session, we will stretch the hips. What you'll need are yoga blocks or books, thick books, or pillows, especially if you have tight hips. You can do this on a mat, on the floor, on a blanket, or even in your bed. Let's get started. So we're going to start on the floor with the soles of our feet together. I'm going to grab around the feet. This is a butterfly position. So in order to warm up the hips, I'm just going to flap the butterfly wings. And again, take your time. I'm going to lean forward. And here, again, if the hips are too tight, you can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath. You might even feel a stretch in the back here. From this position, I'm going to take one arm right behind me, not too far from my body. The other arm, inhale, exhale, press the hip open. And come back to center. Change. One arm right behind me to lengthen the spine, the other hand on the knee. Inhale, exhale, press the hip open. And back to center. Now we're going to lie down on the floor. And first, before I get started, I have to make sure that my body, my spine is in alignment. I'm going to just open up the neck area. And you can spend as much time as you need here, allowing the force of gravity to weigh on the legs to open up the hips. You can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath the knees. And gradually, you can take the feet even further down and spend enough time in each position. From here, we're going to go into an internal hip rotation. I'm going to spread my feet to the side, lean the knees inwards. You have a little bit more flexibility. You don't really feel the stretch. Just take your feet even further apart to deepen this internal rotation stretch in your hips. From here, I'm just going to place my feet, and without repositioning the feet, I'm going to take my arms to the side, and then I'm just going to rock my legs side to side, keeping the upper body facing up, shoulders down. And then I'm going to stop on one side, take the lower leg over the upper to add weight to deepen the stretch. Release the leg and switch. Other side, lower over the upper. And back to center. Last part, I'm going to spread my legs